Welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the match reaction and player ratings for our 3-0 win over Brentford. Nice kick about to the boys. Absolutely enjoy that. That is perfect revenge for what happened last season. This is very different from what happened last season. At the beginning of last season, we were crying. We were crying at the beginning of last season. This was us last season at Brentford. This was us last season at Brentford. This time around, we even had time to dance. We even had time to give our 15-year-old guy some playing time as well. Absolutely fantastic. The perfect way to end before the international break. There is now a 2-week international break, and being top of the table right before that is amazing. Who would have thought heading into October, yes, at the end of September, Arsenal will still be top of the table. 2 months in, Arsenal are still top. Everyone thought, like, you know what, Arsenal will just be there for 1 game, 2 games, but no. Even after losing against Man United, we've bounced back amazingly well, kept a clean sheet, won the game, even with injuries. We'll talk about that, but even with injuries, we didn't have our captain today. Our starting left back in Zinchenko wasn't there. A player like Smith-Rowe bench quality was not there as well. We were missing players. We even had a 15-year-old on the bench. That's how much we were vulnerable today, kind of, because we didn't have a great bench to come on in the second half or anything, but we didn't need the bench. Whenever you have players like Jesus in the team, look at them dancing, enjoying themselves. Things are looking good. So we will get to the match reaction, the player ratings as well, how the team was looking today. I also have a couple of stats in terms of set pieces and all that. We are looking very good in terms of set pieces. Nowadays, every time Arsenal gets a corner, I'm like, you know what, you can actually do something with this one. And it always happens. Absolutely fantastic. Back to the top of the table, because things don't get easier. We really needed to win this one because things don't get easy after this. We are going to face Tottenham and Liverpool. Those are our next 2 Premier League games. So things do not get easier than this. So it's going to get tough. So let me know what you made of the game. Let me know who was your man of the match if you're watching on Facebook. Which goal did you enjoy the most today? Probably Fabio Vieira scoring a goal as well in his debut. So without wasting any more time, let's get to Arsenal's lineup for today. How did we line up today? So surprisingly, or sad news again, our player Odegaard is injured as well. Like literally another Arsenal player that I literally do not know where the hell they got injured. Like, we've not actually seen an Arsenal player getting injured live. We only had Partey got injured. We only had Zinchenko got injured and is out again for the second time. We only had Smith-Rowe got injured. We only had, even Cedric is injured, by the way. I don't even know where the hell he got injured. So we have 5 or 6 injuries, but luckily we got through today's game. I'm actually happy that the international break has come so that our players can recover. So at the back we had Ramsdale, Tierney, Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White. You'd have expected that with Zinchenko out. Tierney coming on. I mean, that is not bad backup, you know. When Zinchenko gets injured, you bring on Tierney, one of the best left backs over the last 4 years. That is not bad at all. And then midfield, I was so happy to see Thomas Partey back. When he's there, everything looks so simple. He makes everything look so simple. Going forward, defending as well. He also protects the back four very well. Like today, how many shots did Brentford have today? You can literally count them. Like, I don't even think it was more than 2. Like on targets, they did not threaten that much. And then Xhaka as well. My goodness. Xhaka is playing like a combination of Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets back in the Barcelona prime days, 2009, 2010. Like, Xhaka is playing like a different player. Absolutely fantastic. And then Fabio Vieira is almost the same thing as Odegaard. Like, he came in today, I didn't even notice Odegaard wasn't there. Fabio Vieira is almost the same thing. So they were kind of right. When we were trying to sign midfielders, I still thought we needed a midfield. I still think we needed a midfielder, obviously, in the transfer window. But you were told, you know what, we've not really seen Fabio Vieira playing, so he can actually cover for Odegaard, and we were like, nah, we need someone else there. But we've seen Fabio Vieira is good as well. And then up front, Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus. Martinelli, I'm very happy by how consistent Martinelli is. He's starting every single game. He's not getting injured. Hopefully, it doesn't happen now. Touch wood. I hope he'll be fit for the next game. Very, very tough games coming up. And then Saka getting the assist as well. And then Gabriel Jesus is just different, man. Like, when you think about the striker we had, yesterday I was doing a video about Giroud, the kind of, he didn't have that pace to get in behind. Players like Lacazette did not have that pace to get in behind. Jesus is totally different. Like, the way Jesus plays, like, he doesn't have to score. Like, he didn't actually have to score today to get an 8 in the player ratings or something like that, because the way he just runs past players, the way he glides past players, the number of chances he created for himself. Like, he goes on and wins the ball back from the defender, goes past another defender and tries to shoot the 1-2 with Xhaka. absolutely fantastic. And then on the bench, we had Tana, Tomiyasu, Holding, Lokonga, Nketiah, and then a couple of youngsters there. Marquinhos obviously played in the Europa League game against Zurich. And then we had three youngsters at the bottom. Smith, we've seen before on the bench. Souza plays as a left back for the under 21s. And then Nwaneri, a 15-year-old boy, man. 15-year-old. Does that make you feel old? Like this guy was born in 2000, something like 2008, right? Maybe 2007. That's crazy, man. Like born in 2007 and you're playing football already. That is just crazy, man. And making an appearance for Arsenal in the Premier League, not the Carabao Cup or anything like that, in the Premier League. So I'm very sure his family is very proud of him, and nice to see him becoming the youngest ever player to play in the Premier League, even if it was just 3 minutes. I'm telling you that is his best 3 minutes in his life, basically in his 15-year-old life. That is his best moments for sure. And then for Brentford today, they are playing a back four. Sometimes they play a back five, but they had Henry on the left, Aaron Hickey on the right. Remember, we were linked to Aaron Hickey at the beginning of the transfer window. Me and Aja as well. And then they also had Jensen, Janelt, and Jansson. Everyone starts with the J. What the hell? I didn't even notice that during the game. And then up front, Da Silva, Mbuemo, and Tony, the very dangerous Tony, the guy who has just been picked for the England squad. And then on the bench, just quickly go through it, Strakosha, Zanka, Baptiste Canos, the guy who scored against us last season, Onyeka, Damsgaard, Ramsnes, what the hell? Rasmussen, I think that's how you pronounce it. Visa and Goddess. Listen, I'm so happy I don't have to pronounce the names because I'm not a Brentford fan. We are here to talk about Arsenal and how the game went. So as usual, we always ask for Arsenal to have a quick start. Every time we start a game quickly, we end up winning. Look at the Leicester game, look at the Crystal Palace game, look at the game against, was it Aston Villa or something? We always start very quickly. And the moment you take the lead in a game like this, you put them under pressure. If you go behind against Brentford away from home, this is a team that has thumped Man United 4-0 this season. They scored like 4 goals in the first 30 minutes of that game. They thumped Leeds by 5 goals. They went to Leicester, got a couple of goals. So they actually score goals. They've scored a lot of goals. I think they are like following Man City and Liverpool in terms of scoring goals this season. So they are very good in terms of that. We needed a quick start, and he actually got it. Xhaka passed the ball to Martinelli in the first minute. I thought he should have shot that. You test the goalkeeper early on. They always say the goalkeepers and the defenders need time to warm up. But when you get a chance in the first minute, you're supposed to hit the ball. Just let them save it, try something. Xhaka should have shot that, but he decided to pass the ball to Martinelli. And Martinelli kind of scuffed his shot, and obviously the goalkeeper made an easy save. But I was very happy with that save. Gabriel also made a very, very good interception. The defense was solid today as always. I never have a problem with our defense. I know all of them have made a mistake this season. Saliba scored an own goal against Leicester. Gabriel gave away the ball against Fulham. But all these players, like, we've come from far, guys. Like our defense, Tierney, Zinchenko, White, Gabriel, Saliba, Tomiyasu. When you start thinking about these players, and you remember what we had not even that long ago, just 4 years ago, with Lich Steiner, Mustafi, Socrates, or even 10 years ago with, Senderos, Kulachi. Man, remember those guys, mistake after mistake. Even players like Debussy. Like looking at this defense right now, players who play for their countries, players who are very, very good defenders as well. Like, I don't even care if Tomiyasu starts or White starts or Tierney starts or Zinchenko starts. All of them are very good. Even if Ben White starts in central defense and Saliba gets a rest, like anyone who plays, I'm just okay with it. So really, really nice to see all of them playing well today again. And then came the first goal. So I have a start for this one, but Sally, let's go to the corner itself. The moment you got that corner, I knew we were going to test the goalkeeper. I was watching a game with someone, and I was like, Arsenal these days from corner kicks, we are very great. Like since last season, defending corner kicks and scoring from corner kicks, fair play to the set piece coach. He has done a magnificent job in terms of that. Like we've become like Arsenal a long time ago. Remember how many corners we used to concede against the likes of Stoke City and Burnley? Like we never used to defend corners well. These days, we defend them well and we are scoring goals. Gabriel scored 5 goals last season. A couple of our players got goals as well. Holding, Chambers, all those guys got goals last season, and it's because of our corner kicks. So fair play to the set piece coach, and also to the guys who are taking the corners. I think Saka's really improved in terms of taking corners since last season. Smith Rowe, Martinelli, all of those guys are taking very good corners. Odegaard, Fabio Vieira as well. Cedric as well when he plays. They're taking very, very good corners, and that is putting the opposition team in a difficult place. So that was 1-0. So the start I have for you from that set piece is, in terms of the entire Europe, Yes, the entire Europe, the top 5 leagues. Arsenal have the best expected best in terms of set pieces. Basically, we are the best in terms of the whole Europe. Expected goals generated by set piece, Arsenal are top. Now, you know which team is second? Brentford, and we just scored a set piece against them. Yes, Arsenal is number one ahead of Brentford, Roma, Liverpool, Leipzig, all these guys. Like we are very good at set pieces. As you can see, like Brentford are supposed to be second. They're the best in terms of that. We are number one out of 98. That is crazy. Brentford are second, and we just scored a set piece against them. Definitely, we are doing something right. That is so good to see. Our set pieces are working. The coach is doing well. The players who are taking them are doing well. The way we are attacking those set pieces, Gabriel has already scored this season. Saliba already has 2 goals and an assist this season as well. The Fulham game that we won in the last minute, we helped ourselves from a set piece. It was from a corner. Crystal Palace in the first game of the season, our first goal of the season from a set piece, from a corner as well. So things are looking good in terms of that. You always have to have different ways of scoring. You can score from the left side with Martinelli. You can score from the right side with Xhaka. You have players like Fabio Vieira who can shoot the ball. And when things get hard, you have to use anything else, even if it's a penalty or in our case, a corner kick, a free kick. It can work too. That is a goal. I mean, teams like Burnley score 90% of their goals from set pieces. So if you can use a set piece to greatly, you're going to be in a good position. So definitely helps us this season. I think we already scored like 4 or 5 corners this season, right? Crazy, amazing to see. So that was 1-0 to Arsenal. Saka with the assist for Saliba's goal, very good header. Saliba's second goal in Arsenal shot. Let's talk about Saliba as well before I go to the second goal. How happy am I to see Saliba back in an Arsenal shirt? I never thought you'd ever see him in an Arsenal shirt again. The moment you started hearing about him not being happy with Arteta, Arteta doesn't like Saliba, Saliba doesn't like Arteta. You all know Aubameyang and Guendouzi did not get along with Arteta. They are gone. So I really thought Saliba would be gone. I never thought he'd play for Arsenal again. I am very happy to see him playing for Arsenal, man. Absolutely happy. So Saliba back with the goal again. And then after 10 minutes, we got our second goal. Granit Xhaka playing like Xavi in midfield. Water cross, the pass to Tien, and then he got the pass back, and then that cross to Jesus. By the way, before those 2 headers today, I think we had scored the last, like, correct me if I'm wrong, like, correct me the right number. I think it was like 8, 9 of our last goals were scored with the left foot. I don't know if you guys noticed, in case you haven't come across that stat. Like against Man United, Saka scored with his left foot. Against Aston Villa, Jesus scored with his left foot. Gabriel scored with his left foot against Fulham. Basically, like 7, 8 of our last goals have been scored with the left foot until today. So today we scored with 2 headers. Gabriel Jesus with a magnificent header, and we even got time to dance. Man, it was so good. We even got time to dance today, huh? Ivan Toney, nice kick about with the boys, huh? Yes, today it was a nice kick about with the boys. We even got time to dance. We even got time to play our 15-year-old boy. That is how easy it was. So Ivan Toney, never ever talk crap about Arsenal again. So as you can see, Gabriel Jesus shining Xhaka's shoe there, absolutely fantastic. Water cross from him. He was great. He was also the captain today. And that header from Jesus, again, let's talk about Jesus. How good is it having a striker who can do multiple things? Lacazette was good in terms of holding up the ball, you know. Aubameyang was great in terms of pace, getting in behind, finishing, all that. Lacazette, team play, all that, he was good. Jesus is a combination of everything. He can run past defenders. He can score with the header. He's already scored like 4 goals with his head already for Arsenal. He can score with his right foot, his left foot. He can score from rebounds. He already has a good relationship with Saka, already has a good relationship with Ketia. Same with Odegaard, same with Martinelli as well. Like, it's like he's been at Arsenal for like 7, 8 years. This guy only joined us a few months ago, and I remember some of you are complaining like Jesus is not the answer. He's been sitting on the bench for Man City. City just sold him. They got Haaland because Haaland is 10 times more than Jesus, better than Jesus, blah blah blah. No, let's be honest. Jesus has already done more in this 7, 8 games than Lacazette did for us the entirety of last season. Now, as I always say, I'm not saying Aubameyang and Lacazette are bad players. No, we are not that kind of team. Aubameyang was very good for us in the first couple of seasons, even won us a trophy. Lacazette was very good for us those first couple of seasons, especially 2018, 2019. They took us to a Europa League final, all that. They were very good for us. But in the last couple of years, their game went down a lot, and getting someone like Jesus is a breath of fresh air. And that header for the second goal, I think it was Ben Mee was defending against him. Like a player just came from Burnley, jumping above him. It's crazy. So 2-0 to Arsenal, and I was really excited this time. I was like, you know what? we can actually get 4 or 5. A couple of you had predicted Arsenal 3-0, 4-0. I was like, nah, I think Brentford will score. They're very good at home. But we actually did. We were 2-0 ahead within the first 27 minutes. I don't think that is the first time, right? I think against Leicester, we had also scored 2 goals very early on in that game as well. Aston Villa had taken the lead, and that was Jesus' first goal away from home as well. The first 3 goals he had scored against Aston Villa and Leicester were all at home. So his first goal away from home, really, really nice to see. And then the entirety of the first half, they literally did not do anything. And then I can read for you the stats from the first half. So in terms of the shots in the first half, we had ball possession 64%. They only had 36. We had 7 shots. They only had 2. Only 1 on target for them. We had 3 on target. We only had 1 blocked shot. They had 2 corner kicks. We had 1. Yep, they had 2 corner kicks. No goal. He had 1 corner kick. 1 goal from it. Efficiency. No yellow card. We had 1 big chance scored from it. I think big chances missed, none at all. We missed a lot of big chances against Man United. So good to see that in the first half. Shots inside the box for last season. I remember a lot of people were complaining as well. Arsenal are not creating enough chances. Every time we scored a goal, we tried to park the bus. We created like 2-3 chances per game. These days, especially the last 5-6 games, I think we've been having 18 to 20 shots per game. Yes, we're not scoring from all of them. We need to be a bit more clinical. But today, for example, like their goalkeeper was pretty good. Jesus could have had a hat trick today. We also had 305 passes. They had 160, almost double. Accurate passes, 84%. So we are not giving away the ball a lot in the first half at all. Dribbles, we completed 100%. They lost position more than us. They won more duels and more aerial duels as well. They made more tackles, more interceptions, and we made more clearances, 10 clearances. That was just in the first half. So in the second half, I was hoping we'd come on, get a third goal, and then maybe rest the likes of Partey, because I know his country, he's going to use him for the entirety of the international break. Rest the likes of Xhaka, because Switzerland is going to use him for the whole of the international break. Those guys do not rest the likes of Xhaka and Partey, so we might as well do it on our side so that they can go there being fresh and not exhausted and still get played. So I was hoping for that. And we did test the goalkeeper literally immediately. Fabio Vieira, my goodness, what a shot. I don't have a picture of it, but what a shot. His first Arsenal start in the Premier League and his first goal for Arsenal. What an amazing, it was a banger. Xhaka with the run, assist to Fabio Vieira. I never thought he would shoot, but he shot it, and the way he literally celebrated it in the first 5 seconds without moving, like Eric Cantona back in the 90s. Absolutely fantastic to see. I thought you were going to miss these guys. I didn't even notice they weren't there. Tierney was class, and Fabio Vieira was class as well. What a strike. First Arsenal goal, the first of many, and you can see his quality right away. There's a reason why we paid 40 million for him. There's a reason why he got those number of goals and assists last season for FC Porto at such a young age. His quality is absolute quality as well. So I literally cannot wait to see Fabio Vieira and Odegaard on the pitch at the same time. That is the one thing I really want to see this season. Odegaard and Fabio Vieira on the pitch at the same time. I don't think they got to play together against Man United, but anyway, that game was different. So United were already leading, and it was a tough game, obviously, playing Man United. Like any other game, I want to see Odegaard and Fabio, especially the home games, like the number of chances we can create and the number of shots and all that. Odegaard doesn't shoot a lot, but hopefully he can try it, because we've seen him scoring that kind of goal as well. So Fabio Vieira, this first Arsenal goal, and it was 3-0. Who thought we'd be 3-0 ahead against Brentford? The media before the game, Arsenal last season, they went to Brentford, they lost, their first real test against Man United, they lost. I don't think they can beat Brentford away from home. Brentford beat Man United. They beat Leeds at home. They're very good. They're very, powerful, organized. I don't think Arsenal can break them down. Guys, this is the new Arsenal. This is Mikita's Arsenal. He's the manager of the month for a reason. Haters, cry. Go ahead and cry. He's the manager of the month for a reason. Anyway, let me not talk too much about that one. Jesus also had a shot in the 56th minute. Again, very good play from Xhaka. Absolutely dominated them. Fantastic in that second half. And then Xhaka, he was playing so well. Obviously, something was going to happen. He picked up a yellow card for something silly. Xhaka can never always be perfect. He was very good today, but perfect. He'll always do something somewhere just for us to say, let's take 1 point away from his player ratings. But apart from that yellow card, card, I mean, it was, I guess it's a good yellow card to take because they were trying to counter-attack us and everything. And then Xhaka right away made another fantastic clearance from one of their counter-attacks. Brilliant block. Xhaka is different, guys. This, like, I didn't even hear anyone in the last 1 month of the transfer window talking about Xhaka. Why is he still here? Xhaka should be sold. You know, like the way we were talking about him 2 years ago, 1 year ago, a lot of us were saying, why is Xhaka still here? Xhaka should be sold. Xhaka is not good enough. Partey needs a new support in midfield. I don't think any of us can talk about that one right now. Like right now, one of the players that I really do not, like, I'm scared of them getting injured is Xhaka, because if he's not in that midfield, who the hell do we play? Because right now, Odegaard is out, Smith Rowe is out, El Neni is out. I don't think there's anyone else to play there in that midfield, especially those players out. Definitely not. And Xhaka, I guess, understands the game as well. He understands Arsenal. He understands the Premier League. He's been here for more than 6 years. So if he keeps on playing like this, like if Xhaka was playing like this the last 4 years, we'd not even have been talking about Arsenal getting a midfielder. You know, the reason why we've been talking about getting a midfielder over the last few years is because Partey is always injured, and it's because Xhaka has never really impressed the Arsenal fan base that much to the point of, you know what, this is a midfielder, we don't need anyone else. Nah. This guy, if he was playing that well, we'd not have been talking about that. And if he keeps on playing like this, we don't miss midfielders. Remember, he scored against Leicester today. He got an assist as well. He's notched up a couple of assists too. So really, really great to see. And then Xhaka was testing the goalkeeper. Gabriel was testing the goalkeeper as well. He could easily have had a fourth or a fifth goal as well. And then Ramsdale made his first save in the 70th minute. Again, a very good goalkeeper that we have. Anytime he's called to make a save, is going to make it. Yes, he does make a couple of errors that will always come to a goalkeeper any time. He will improve on that. He's still a very young goalkeeper. But let's remember, from what Ramsdale was when the time we signed him, all of us complaining about 30 million too much. None of us are complaining about it anymore. Like, we're not worried about our goalkeeper unless he's injured. Like, Ramsdale needs to be there. He's very, very good. He's kicking, the way he passes the ball, the way he saves whenever is needed. Even aerial balls, these days is looking very, very sharp as well. And then we made our first two subs, Lokonga coming on for Partey and Nketiah coming on for Martinelli. I'm sure they will get more chances to start. I'm hoping the likes of Nketiah and Smith Rowe don't feel too worried about missing most of the games, even when Smith Rowe is fit. Games will come after the transfer window, I wish. After the international break, we are playing against some really good teams. We are playing against Tottenham, and then playing against Liverpool, and then playing against PSV twice. We're going to play against Bordeaux and Glimt twice. All those games are before the World Cup. So all those players will be needed to play. Marquinhos and all those guys. Maybe even the 15-year-old will be needed. And then Tomiyasu came on for Ben White. I'm loving that rotation. Ben White, Southgate. I don't understand how Ben White is left out of the English squad. I really do not understand. Like, Dyer has been okay this season. Maguire hasn't even played this season. And Ben White is not picked. I mean, it's just for a couple of Nations League games. But if Ben White doesn't go to the World Cup, I really hope, sorry for the England fans watching this, but I really hope England gets knocked out in the group stage. If Ben White doesn't get picked, because he does deserve to be picked, let's be honest. Like, in that defense, I'd be very honest. I will say Saka obviously 100% has to go. White right now 100% has to go, but I'm not just saying every single Arsenal player has to go. No, Smith Rowe last season he deserved to go, but right now I'll honestly tell you, Smith Rowe is not anywhere near that English squad. There's better players than him, like the likes of Ford and all that. So I'll tell you, Smith Rowe doesn't have to go to England. Ramsdale, I can tell you, maybe he does not deserve to start for England. When Pickford has played for Everton this season, especially, he makes some really good saves. So I do understand why he gets played and everything. But for someone like Ben White, who is not picked for England, I just don't understand. Anyway, Jesus had another attempt again, and then he picked up a yellow card. I think, by the way, Jesus has the most yellow cards for us this season. He gets into a lot of battles with a lot of players, a lot of basically a lot of what is it called? A lot of duels with opposition players, and I think he's picked up 4 yellow cards this season. I'm pretty sure when he hit 5, he gets suspended. So if he picks up a yellow card next game, I think he'll be suspended for the Liverpool game. I don't think I'm wrong, right? If he picks up a yellow card against Tottenham, he doesn't play the Liverpool game. So he needs to be a bit disciplined, because we are getting to the time where players can start getting suspended. He's picked up a lot of yellow cards, Jesus. I have no problem with my striker getting involved in all the tussles and everything, but he needs to be careful. Like today, he commits fouls. He definitely does commit a few fouls that are unneeded. Like today, and we'll come to that in the player ratings. He did make how many fouls did he? He committed 3 fouls, so that is a lot for a striker, especially those niggly fouls. That's why the referee gave him a yellow card. So he needs to be careful in terms of that. But we finally got to see our young player Nwaneri and Marquinhos coming on for Xhaka and Vieira. Absolutely fantastic for him coming on as a 15-year-old. Do you guys remember where you are when you're 15 years old? Nowhere near playing for Arsenal. We were nowhere near playing for Arsenal. Let's be honest, nowhere near playing for Arsenal. 15-year-old playing for Arsenal, that is a dream come true for him. I'm pretty sure that guy was literally a kindergarten kid, literally in junior school when he was watching players who weren't even there a long time ago, the likes of Giroud. This guy was a kid watching the likes of Giroud, and the likes of Giroud weren't at Arsenal that long ago. So absolutely fantastic for him. Great to see. That's how it was a nice kick about the boys. We even gave a chance to our 15-year-old bro to get some minutes in that game. So that is how the game went. A nice 3-0 win. We've looked so good this season in terms of away games. Like when I was looking at the first 10 games of this season, I was like, if we can pick up 6 wins, 2 draws, and maybe 2 losses, I'd be okay with that. I was thinking about 6 wins. But in the first 7 games, we already picked up those 6 wins. Like, look at tough games. Crystal Palace away is never an easy game for anyone. We went there and won. We went to Brentford and won. Yes, we went to Man United and lost, but that performance was really good. Like until today, I don't understand how we lost by 3-1. Like we could, if the goal counted in that first half, could easily have been 2 goals ahead in the first 20 minutes. But yes, we lost. Forget about that. But other games we've won some really good games. Like even when you don't score fast, like against Fulham with just 20 minutes to go, we come back from behind and score 2 late goals. Even against Leicester, when you score, Leicester score, and then we score, Leicester score again. We still have the energy to go and score and the concentration to go and score right away as well. Literally after 1 minute, we've done that a lot this season. So I'm definitely seeing a lot this season. Again, if you're just joining, this was Arsenal last season away at Brentford. Smith Rowe crying, Lokonga crying, Ben White not happy. I think that was his debut. Pablo Mari not happy. This time at Brentford, we even have time to dance. That's how much we've improved. We even have time to dance and play football with our 15-year-old boy. That's how great it is this season. So let me see what you guys are saying, and then I'll come to the player ratings. Let me know who your man of the match was. Thank you for the super chat, RK. She says, I'm buzzing. Back to the top of the table. It wasn't great watching the other teams yesterday. Tottenham thumping Leicester by 6, and then obviously Man City winning as always, as usual. I mean, we were back to third. We were down to third, actually. So if we didn't win today and lost, we'd have been third on the table. And then all of a sudden, Man United are a few points behind you. All these teams are a few points behind you. And all of a sudden, you're fourth or fifth. So great to be back at the top of the table. I know we're not going to be top of the table forever, let's be honest. I just wanted us to be there for at least 2-3 months. It gets tougher. Next month, you're going to face Liverpool, Tottenham. We were going to face Man City, but that game has been postponed. So I actually don't have a problem with Man City game getting postponed. They'll probably have taken points away from us, especially with Haaland on fire. Tactical says, what a performance, pure domination. Yep, that's fantastic. Tactical, nice seeing you again, brother. How are you doing? I'm doing good, RK. Thank you, Ambrose. Watching from Zambia, says Matthews. Samson says, Gabriel Jesus, man of the match, 9 out of 10. Godwin says, wow. Calvin says, very impressed with Vieira today. All-round brilliant performance from the boys. Emmanuel says, Pat is a sure baller. Xhaka is like fine wine. The older, the better is my man of the match. Yeah, who thought you'd be saying these good, nice things about Xhaka every single game? Fantastic, man. And then Partey, you'll notice when Partey's there, and you'll notice when Partey's not there. Like, is that one player that you'll definitely notice? Like sometimes you might not notice when Odegaard is not there because Fabio Vieira might cover. Sometimes you might not notice when Martinelli is not there, Smith Rowe might cover, Saka might cover. Even defensively, you might not notice when Tomiyasu, Tierney, Zinchenko are not there. But for Partey, I think he has to be there. Like, he makes a huge difference. That's the difference between Odegaard pass and Fabio shot, says Subai. That's something Odegaard definitely needs to improve on. He needs to shoot the ball when he has the chance. I think he doesn't take shots whenever he has a chance. Good one today, says Delby Max. Watching from Nigeria, says Anthony. Lagos, Nigeria. Wonderful, says James. Chanda says, wow. Good afternoon, says Richard. Thank you. Just those guys are unstoppable. Even Martinelli dribbled until Jensen got injured, says Edward. Really good. So this is the first time you're looking at that Arsenal squad, and we literally love everyone. Like you look at Partey, yes, this is a great player. Saka, yes, this guy has a bright future ahead of him. Odegaard, fantastic. You look at the defenders, great. The goalkeeper, great. You never see Arsenal like that. Like usually there's like 5-6 players who you don't love. Or Gabriel, you love him, but Luis, not everyone loves him. Or Saka, you love him, not everyone loves Pepe. Or everyone loves Smith Rowe, not everyone likes Willian. Like that happens a lot with Arsenal. But this time, like the players, all these players who've left Arsenal on a free, on 5 million, 2 million, all the players that we sell right now, if you sell a player right now, Saka, 100 million, Fabio Vieira right now, 50, Odegaard, 60, Gabriel, 60, Saliba, probably 70. All these players, they'll have to pay a lot of money for them. Ramsdale, we signed him for 30. If he goes right now, we are going to ask for at least 20 million on top of that. So we have players with value. Vieira goal made my night, says Hunt, absolutely. What a strike, man. What a fantastic shot. Good afternoon. Anu Saliba Super says Festus. Congratulations, Big Gun, says Jala. Let's see. The team is in charge from the blast of the whistle. Yep, says Lawrence. For sure, from the first minute, that is what you need. A quick start, everything. You don't need to slow down. You just have to get the job done early. And no one needs that edge of the seat stuff in the last 20 minutes. Will Arsenal score? Oh, it's 1-1. We are afraid. We're scared. All this. Nah. Get the job done early. You can even have time to bring on 15-year-olds. Maybe you can do that every day. Ose also says Xhaka is something else. Oladele says super performance today. Chien says, please assist me with players to choose for my fantasy. Right now, I have Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus. So a lot of people will drop Jesus because the likes of Tony are playing well. I think if you go for an Arsenal defender, there's no problem as well because we are keeping clean sheets. So I'll probably will say Saliba as well. Surely I'm enjoying the game. I realized why we lost against Man United. Partey is something else. Now, if Partey was there, the difference would have been huge as well. But I prefer forgetting about that game. I was actually sad that we had to focus on that game for 2 weeks because last week it was postponed, the game against Everton. So we've had to sit on that result against Man United. Kudos says lucky. God give us strength says Cash. Sammy says keep up the good work. Awa says he's happy. John is happy as well. John is happy as well, and Jude is happy as well. Ashton says only 5 teams in Europe top 6 leagues have a younger score than Arsenal. We are giving youngsters a chance. I don't know why Hutchinson left, and all of them are playing really well. It's not just like youngsters who. Yeah, I'm sad that Hutchinson went to Chelsea. Some part of me kind of thinks he wanted to go. I don't know. We'll have to take a deeper look into that, and I just don't understand why he went to Chelsea. But all these youngsters are quite good. We're even giving, I'll keep on repeating because it's a big deal. We're giving a chance to a 15-year-old in the Premier League. Very impressive, says Matthew. Ben says as well, up the Gunners. Great man says Hussein. This team has the metamorphosis. Wow, you're coming with hard vocabulary, John. Some really tough vocabulary. Anything is possible this season. Arsenal might be a team of the season, surprisingly. Metamorphosis, right? That's how you pronounce it. The hell, John, we are happy right now. Don't ruin my day. Ashton says Noaneri needs permission to stay at his friend's house overnight. Yeah, that's how young he is. Like even after today, his mother comes to pick him up from the ground when everyone else is driving. Yes, Red Star, you're right. If Jesus picks up a yellow card next game, he's suspended for the Liverpool match. So hopefully he doesn't pick up that yellow card in the next game. And it's Tottenham as well. So a part of me thinks there's going to be a lot of fouls and tackles in that game, and he'll pick up another yellow card, and he'll probably miss the Liverpool game. So I don't know, man. I really wish he cannot pick up a yellow card against Tottenham. And then even if he picks up a yellow card against Liverpool, it's fine because after that we'll have Leeds. We saw what Nketiah did against Leeds last season. It's fine. I think we can win that game even with Nketiah up front. Keep it up. I like that, says Paul. So let's go to the player ratings. Let's do the player ratings. I'll come to the rest of your comments. I appreciate it. What are you giving these players out of 10 today? So let's start with Ramsdale. I'm going to give him an 8. Whenever we needed him, he got the save done. And then in terms of aerial duels, I think they had like 3 or 4 corners or something like that. And he collected a couple of them very, very easily. High claims, save from inside the box. He made 2 saves from inside the box. Didn't have any clearances or interceptions or any tackles to make. Really good to see the defense doing great ahead of him. In terms of passes, he only had an accuracy of 41%. Usually he gets 50-60%, but he kept a clean sheet. Again, away at Crystal Palace, clean sheet. Away today, clean sheet. Really, really good to see. So Aaron Ramsdale, Gabriel gets an 8 for today, 8 out of 10. He went down injured as well. Like, my goodness, Arsenal with injuries. Like, literally, like the last 2 weeks alone, every single player has gone down with a knock or something. Luckily, he's okay. Hopefully, he enjoys the international break. I think he'll play at least one of those games. Next up, let's go to the right back, Ben White. Please, guys, the guys who are disrespecting Ben White, please, I am begging you, please respect Ben White. Southgate as well included. You never go without picking Ben White for your team. This is not even his position. He has been playing for us this season. We've not realized, we've not even noticed it, because like if White was not at Arsenal and Tomiyasu got injured, we would notice, because even right now Cedric is injured. We'd have to play some people on the right side, some youngsters, all that. We haven't even noticed that we don't have an actual right back and Ben White is playing there, because it's been so good defensively, attacking wise. I think actually Tomiyasu getting injured is definitely not a good thing, but for Arteta to make his decision, I think it wasn't a bad thing, because we were talking about Ben White or Saliba, who's going to play, who's going to be on the bench, blah blah blah. Like, it has made this decision easier, because Ben White has adapted to the right position, and we can play with both of them, because I think both of them are quite good. I think both of them could easily start for their countries at the World Cup. Ben White is playing really well at right back. In terms of stats today, at right back, did well, didn't get dominated. This is a guy who kept quiet, the likes of Zaha, when he played against Crystal Palace and teams like that. Ground duels, he won 2 out of 3. Accurate passes, 89%. Ground duels, he won 2 out of 3. Aerial duels, he won 50% of them. He made 3 clearances, 2 interceptions. Man, some good numbers. Long balls, like in terms of those long passes, he completed 2. He attempted 2 of them. He completed 2 of them. That is Ben White for you. That is why I always thought he needed to be in our team. He cannot sit on the bench. Just his passing alone, I don't think many people can do that in our team. Composure as well. That's why I'm always like, even if he plays in midfield, I don't think it's going to be a surprise, like a weird position for him. I actually think he can play as a midfielder without a problem, Ben White. So for today, the clean sheet as well, 8 out of 10. He got subbed off as well for Tomiyasu. And then the next defender is Saliba. I've given him a 9, man. This is like the second time I'm giving him a 9 this season. I think the first game he got a 10. What can we say about him? He not only does he defend, when we need a goal in the first half, the first goal of the game, Saliba goes ahead and scores. What ahead? I did not even look at what the goal was. Scored ahead. A second goal already this season for Arsenal. He's already picked up a couple of assists as well. So for the guy who's asking about Fantasy Premier League, this is the guy you can also have in your team. He's very good in terms of attacking the ball. I didn't actually realize that when he was coming to Arsenal. I thought he was just going to be very good defensively. I thought Gabriel was better in terms of attacking the ball. But having defenders who are scoring goals like this, Gabriel scored 5 last season. He's already scored this season. Saliba already has like 3 or 4 attacking returns this season. Not only just random goals as well. Remember his goal against Bournemouth, a fantastic goal. Today, a fantastic header. Absolutely fantastic to see. So he scored a goal and he kept a clean sheet. There's a time he had the ball and I thought he was going to lose it to the strike. I think it was Tony. And he literally just went around him so easily. It's a risk, like Gabriel attempted that against Mitrovic and lost the ball. But when he pull it off, it's fantastic. So the way he just went past, and then there's a time Tony was through again, and then he made a tackle at the end. And absolutely fantastic. Let me tell you his stats today. So I've given him a 9. Let me know, is he your man of the match or would you go for someone else? So he scored a goal. He had 2 clearances, 2 tackles. He won 4 out of his 5 duels as well. 89% in terms of accurate passes too. Guys, our defenders are pulling off 89%, 90% in terms of passing accuracy. Now, I know some of you would say they are passing along the back, so it's easier, but no. These guys are attempting long balls. They're passing the ball into the midfield to Thomas Partey, to the right and left to Martinelli and Xhaka, and they're completing these passes. Do you know how great it feels to have defenders who can actually pass the ball? Ben White, Saliba. You remember every time back in the day when Mustafi had the ball, you literally had to bow down and start praying because you didn't know what Mustafi was thinking in his head. He could do anything. He could score an own goal. He could give away the ball. He could just trip on the ball. Anything could happen. The defenders that we have right now, I'm feeling safe. I'm feeling secure when they have the ball. No problem at all. Sometimes even when Ramsdale passes the ball to Saliba, I have time to look at my phone because I know whoever has the ball, he'll do something correctly. Like, I don't have to be like, oh my goodness, Mustafi clear the ball, do this, do that. Nah, these guys are very composed. 9 out of 10 for Saliba. I am very happy that he's back being an Arsenal player. We sent him out on loan 3 times. It definitely worked. He's come back a totally different player, man. I really hope he goes to the World Cup as well. Next up is Gabriel. I've given him an 8 as well. Didn't score a goal like Saliba, but I think he was very solid as well. Made the tackles when needed. Clearing the ball as well. Didn't dwell on the ball too much today like he did against Fulham and Aston Villa, sometimes losing the ball. He did give away the ball once today. I saw it, but the interception he made in the 7th minute, the tackles, he made one interception, one tackle, 5 clearances. The duels he had to win 2 out of 2. Aerial duels, he won less than 50%. He lost position 9 times. He was fouled once. He had 75 touches. Another defender completing 87% of his passes. Our defenders are playing like midfielders. And then long balls, he only completed 1 of the 7. So that is why I'm saying Ben White, like if you compare him with Gabriel in terms of passing the ball, like Ben White is like 10 times better, like especially the long balls. Very great. So if Tomiyasu comes back into the team and starts playing very well and doesn't get injured again, there's also a part of me that is thinking, yes, Gabriel is a left footer. I do understand he has to be there because he's a left foot as well. But some part of me is thinking I'd not even be surprised if sometime this season we see Saliba and Ben White as a centre backs and Gabriel on the bench for a couple of games. I'd not be surprised, but I do understand Gabriel is a left foot and he has to play. But I cannot believe there's a time you were talking about Gabriel and Pablo Mari. Who's better between Gabriel and Pablo Mari? Please, like we were so stupid asking ourselves that question. Gabriel and Pablo Mari. Please. Gabriel is also, I know he's made a couple of mistakes, but every time he's there, like I just feel so safe. Like I know he's going to clear the ball. I know he has a good understanding with Ben White and Saliba. He's also learned English, so we don't have to worry about that as well. Thank you very much, Gabriel. Thank you very much. So 8 out of 10 for him. And then the last defender is Tierney, our backup. Can you imagine? Tierney is our backup. This guy who was the best left back in the world for like 4 years is our backup. So even if Zinchenko gets injured, Tierney is the one who's coming on. Things are looking good, guys. Things are actually looking good. Things are looking decent. Tierney, what a performance again today. He actually went forward and created a couple of chances. Some of those shots that Xhaka and Jesus were taking were from Tierney's pass, so he could easily have had an assist today as well. In terms of stats, so let me know, which defender do you think was better between Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Tierney? So again, I only watched the game once, so I might make a mistake with these ones. So he had 1 interception, 1 tackle, and 5 clearances as well. Ground duels, he won 2 out of 3. 86% of passes. Another defender with more than 86% in terms of passes. Long balls, 2 out of 4, and then he also had a shot off target today. So Tierney, I've given him an 8 out of 10. Everyone gets an extra point because he kept a clean sheet. If they had scored today, maybe we would have been talking about 7s, but absolutely fantastic. So 8 out of 10 for Tierney. So those are the defenders and the forward players. Ramsdale, and the defenders and the goalkeeper. So Ramsdale 8, Tierney 8, Gabriel 8, Saliba 9, White 8. Midfield time. What am I giving the midfielders for today? Xhaka, captain, 9 out of 10. Like if he got an assist or something or another goal in that game or didn't even pick up that silly yellow card, we could easily have been looking at a 10 out of 10. Like that is how good his performance was. We rarely give 10 out of 10. Last season, I think I gave it to, was it like Saka against Tottenham or something? Maybe twice last season. And this season, I think I only gave a 10 to Saliba against Crystal Palace because he did very well in his debut. But he rarely gives 10s, rarely. I think Jesus in the friendly as well when he scored a hat-trick or something like that. But Xhaka today, 9 out of 10. There's so many things. Like the way his new position, maybe that has always been his position. Maybe we've been playing him in the wrong position for 5-6 years. He's definitely not a defensive midfielder. When Xhaka plays in defensive midfield, he makes a couple of errors. He commits fouls because when he gets a very quick number 10, especially like De Bruyne, he's in for a very tough night when he's playing as a defensive midfielder. But when he's playing further ahead, you don't have to worry about that at all. Like his passing ability is great. He can shoot the ball whenever. He's scoring a couple of goals. He's assisting this season as well. Like really, really good option. Like if you're feeling brave in your FPL, you can also have him in your team because he's looking good. He's not picking up a lot of yellow cards like he used to and red cards, like complaining with the referee and all that. Not at all. Like I'm very interested to see his stats from today. So he got the assist for the Jesus goal. What a cross! My goodness, that cross was fantastic. So Granit Xhaka for today, he assisted. He had 89% of accurate pass in terms of accurate passes. Wow, this is crazy. Everyone I've gone through so far has 89%, 88% in terms of accurate passes, which means we aren't giving away the ball a lot today. 2 long balls out of 4. So Xhaka attempted 56 passes and he completed 50 of them. 2 duels out of 3 won. Aerial duels 1 out of 2. He was fouled twice and he fouled once. Who thought we'd see this day? Xhaka is getting fouled more than he's actually fouling. So people are actually fouling Xhaka more than he's fouling them. We are going to win the Premier League, guys. We are going to win the Premier League. Who thought? Xhaka is getting fouled more times than he's actually fouling. Yeah, Granit Xhaka. Yes, the one Granit Xhaka, the captain of Switzerland, the Arsenal captain from today. He also made 1 clearance and 1 interception. Fantastic, man. Granit Xhaka, 9 out of 10. Remember, as we always say, if a player plays well, we are going to say he's playing well. A lot of us are talking about Nketiah getting sold, Xhaka getting sold, all that the last 2 years. But when they start playing well like this, you'll not hear me it coming out of my mouth. You'll never hear me saying Xhaka should get sold. He's playing like this. Oh my goodness. Even Edu will not need to buy a midfielder if Xhaka is playing like this. So Xhaka 9 out of 10. I mean, Xhaka, let's be honest as well. He almost gets new powers when this guy is next to him. Thomas Partey, 8 out of 10. Xhaka looks like 10 times the player he is when Partey is next to him. He becomes a better player as well. Partey gets an 8 for today. He comes back to the squad and we keep a clean sheet right away after conceding in like 4 games in a row. Very, very solid in front of the defenders. The one thing I like about Partey is transition. The way he can collect the ball from the defender and move it very quickly to Saka, to Martinelli, to Fabio Vieira, whoever's playing ahead of him. He also can pull off a long pass from nowhere to Martinelli to Saka. He has that in his game. He can also just push forward with the ball from midfield and take a shot if he wants. Okay, most of the shots are off target, but you get what I mean. It's very good in terms of that. I like the way he transitioned the ball very, very quickly. That is what I want. Now, El Neni, when he plays, sometimes is good, but you saw when El Neni started the game before he got injured, you saw how slow the pace is in midfield. Like when he gets the ball, he'll need time to look left, right, where do I pass, all that. But for Partey, very quickly gets the ball, pass is gone, and we are on to attack right again. So his stats from today. He got 93 touches, 86% in terms of accurate passes as well. My goodness. Long balls, 3 out of 5. He won 3 out of his 5 ground duels. He won 1 out of his 2 aerial duels. He did lose possession 14 times today. Clearances 1, tackles 1. He was also fouled. And today, Thomas Partey did not commit a foul. Yes, the whole 90 minutes, Thomas Partey did not foul anyone. In the defensive midfield position, Thomas Partey did not foul anyone. He was actually fouled as well more times than he fouled. 8 out of 10 for Thomas Partey. Things are looking good. I can see why we are top of the table. 8 out of 10 for Thomas Partey for today. The player who was playing ahead of them, Fabio Vieira, have given him an 8 as well. What a goal. His first start for Arsenal scored. The other day, Marquinhos, his first game for Arsenal, scored against Zurich. What a shot from Fabio Vieira. There's been a lot of talk about him as well. Fabio Vieira is too tiny. He cannot battle with Premier League teams like Brentford and those guys away. He's too small. He's not used to the game. He already got injured for 2 months. This is not the guy that we need. Odegaard is way better than him. We should have signed anyone else. No. What Fabio Vieira is giving you today is giving you a goal. He's giving you 52 touches. He's giving you 85% in terms of accurate passes. 1 very key pass. He also had a shot on target, a very good shot on target. One of the goals of our goal of the season, probably as of now. I think this is our goal of the season so far, right? I think Saliba was good. I think Jesus was also good against Leicester. Saliba was good against Bournemouth. Guys, we are making our own top 10 goals list already in the first 7-8 games. So what a strike from Fabio Vieira, his debut. Like, it's good to know that even when Odegaard is not there, even when Smith Rowe, Martinelli are not there, we have someone like Fabio Vieira to play. He'll definitely help us a lot this season because we know with the injuries, the chances of us of our players not getting injured between now and the end of the season is very minimal. We'll probably have Saka missing a couple, Martinelli missing a couple. So players like Fabio Vieira will be needed a lot. So very, very happy to see him fit, and he gets an 8 for today. What a goal. Is that your goal of the season so far, or do you still prefer Saliba against Bournemouth or Jesus against Leicester? Next up, the forward players. I've given Saka an 8. He got 2 assists today. The first corner to Saliba, what a cross. For the guys who are just joining, I did talk about set pieces with Arsenal. This start in terms of set pieces. Like Arsenal, are the most lethal team in terms of set pieces in the whole of Europe. And second is Brentford, and we just scored against them today from a set piece. And then there's Roma, Liverpool, and all those guys. So we are very dangerous from set pieces, defending and attacking. And one of the reasons why we've been scoring a lot of corners this season, we scored a corner kick against Crystal Palace. We scored a corner kick against Leicester. We scored a corner kick against Fulham. We've scored a corner kick against our opponents today, Brentford. I'm pretty sure I might have missed one or something. I don't remember if we scored a corner kick against Aston Villa or something. I don't remember, but we are actually doing something. Like, we're doing something correct. Really fair play to the Arsenal set piece coach. Is definitely doing something right. And one of the reasons we are scoring those set pieces is because of people like Xhaka. His delivery, his crosses have improved a lot. Basically, he's improved a lot in terms of the set pieces, in terms of taking the corner kick. So he gets an 8 for today. He also assisted the Fabio Vieira goal, even though it was basically all Fabio Vieira, but it was from Saka's run. Let's be honest. He also he didn't actually attempt any dribbles today. We were moving the ball so quickly. He had 93% in terms of accurate passes. My goodness. 3 key passes, 1 long ball out of 1, 1 cross that was successful as well. You committed 2 fouls, didn't get fouled today. This is the first time I've seen Saka not getting fouled in a game. That is great. That means we aren't even giving the ball to Saka that much today. We had other options. We had Fabio Vieira, we had other forward players and everything. So good to see as well. So Saka gets an 8. Now Martinelli, maybe some of you might disagree, but I've given him a 7. I think he's definitely performed better than this game this season. I think the likes of Saka and Xhaka were better than Martinelli today. Yes, sometimes when he gets the ball, the way he just runs past players, fantastic to see. But I think we've seen better performances from him this season. So I don't think 7 is bad. 7 is not bad at all. So Martinelli gets a 7 for today. I do not think 7 is a bad score at all. I mean, he didn't score assist. He had 50 touches, 86% of accuracy in terms of passes. So today we did not give away the ball a lot because these guys have 86%, 90% in terms of passes. He actually did not complete any cross at all today. He did not attempt any key ball. He only had 1 shot on target. He attempted 5 dribbles. He completed 4. The one thing I love about him is the ground duels as well. Like he got involved in 14 duels, more than anyone from our team, and he won 5 of them. He lost position 12 times. He was fouled once as well. So I think he was okay. He wasn't great like the others, but he was okay. So Martinelli gets a 7. And if a player on a bad day, on a quiet day like this, Martinelli gets a 7, that shows you his how good he has been this season, that we are talking about him getting a 7, because he wasn't that involved in the game today like the rest, like the likes of Xhaka. But 7 is not a bad score. 7 for Martinelli. Jesus, I've given him an 8. I saw someone saying he's the man of the match, but I think the likes of Xhaka were better. I mean, maybe he should get an extra point for this dance. This dance was fantastic. Maybe we should give him an extra point for that, and also for cleaning Xhaka's shoes for today. I mean, he did a lot of work today, Jesus. He was getting past defenders. He had time to dance. He had time to score a goal. He had time to clean Xhaka's shoes. Like, this guy can do everything, can't he? Like, he literally can do everything. Gabriel Jesus has been sitting on the bench for Man City. Why are we signing him? Mikel Arteta out. Gabriel Jesus is trash. You know, why are we saying this guy cannot get more than 2 goals for us? He only scores in preseason games. Why are Arsenal signing this guy? We needed someone like Victor Osimhen. We needed someone like Ivan Toney. Why didn't we go for players like Aubameyang? Why did you let him go to Chelsea? Who the hell is Gabriel Jesus? Gabriel Jesus is that guy who has already scored a lot of goals this season. He's already gotten a couple of assists as well. Fantastic player. What a guy. What a guy. Please put some respect on Gabriel Jesus' name. He will definitely go to the World Cup. I think the reason why these Brazil players have not been picked for their team is, I hope I didn't shout by there that much, is because I think Edu asked for them to be rested, because there is no way Gabriel Jesus cannot be picked for Brazil. There's literally no way. Martinelli maybe, but Martinelli has been our best player this season, so him not going to Brazil, listen, I don't mind. Like, Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli, and Gabriel are all not going to the international teams, which means they have time to rest. I have no problem with that at all. Let them rest. Let them rest. Jesus got a new baby recently. Let him spend time with his family as well. So that is the starting lineup. Let me recap it. Ramsdale 8, Tierney 8, Gabriel 8, Saliba 9, White 8, Xhaka 9, Partey 8, Vieira 8, Saka 8, Martinelli 7, and Jesus 8. That is almost perfect. A clean sheet and 3 goals scored. Ketia wasn't on for too long. I've given him a 6. Lokonga wasn't on for too long. I've given him a 6. Marquinhos wasn't on for too long. I've given him a 5. But Nwaneri, the 15-year-old, I've given him a 7 because he's 15 years old. He gets 2 extra points because he's 15 years old. He gets a 7. Making a Premier League appearance at 15 years old is crazy, man. That means he was born like in 2007. That is just crazy. So fair play to him becoming the youngest ever player playing in the Premier League. Last up is the manager. I have given Mikel Arteta a 9. I'll tell you another thing people have been saying. Whenever these managers get a manager of the month, it's a manager of the month curse. Whenever these guys get this award, they're going to lose the next 3 games. Nah, not really. Don't believe in those things, what people say. And don't believe everything. Not Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta is happy. He got a 9 today. What a great bounce back from that game against Man United. We've beaten Zurich and we've now beaten Brentford. I was actually scared of Brentford. Brentford is a very good team. I've watched them this season a lot, and the way they're kind of team that can dominate. They can overrun you in the first 30 minutes. And when you check the scoreline, it's 5-0 if you're not careful. Like, that's how good they are. They're very quick, and they have a very good striker who can run, who can score, who's just been picked for England. The likes of Mbemo, all those guys. Very, very good. So we went there. We kept Ivan Toney quiet, nice kick about to the boys, in the words of Ivan Toney. He gave a debut to a 15-year-old, so he's a man of culture. I thought he wasn't going to bring him on. Like, if I was a manager and I hear that start, I'd be like, okay, I'll definitely bring you on, because I'm a nice guy. I want you to come on and play as a 15-year-old. That is good. So nice to see us as a man of culture. He gave the youngster a chance to make history. We got 3 goals. We are scoring from set pieces. A manager of the month. Let's go and get it for a second time and a third time. Absolutely fantastic. So nothing to complain about at all. We dominated that game. In terms of stats overall in the entire game, let me check the stats entire game completely. So we had 13 shots today. 7 on target, 4 off target. We had 2 blocked shots, 3 corner kicks, 2 yellow cards, 2 big chances, 8 shots inside the box. That is really good. 5 shots outside the box. Mix it up. That is what I want to see. Mix it up. Score goals from outside the box. Score goals from inside the box. Take corners. Score from corners. Score from free kicks. Score from penalties. Anything. Use every single side that you can. You also had 67% dribbles completed today. We didn't actually attempt that. We didn't complete that many crosses today. We weren't doing that a lot. Duels won 38, 128 times possession loss, 7 aerial balls won, 11 tackles, 7 interceptions, 20 clearances. That looks good to me. That sounds perfect to me. I have no problem with that at all. Things are looking good. And let me come to your comments and then I'll show you. So those are the player ratings. Let me know which ones you agree with and which ones you do not agree with. Let's see. Tactical says my man of the match is Ethan Nwaneri. We'll still have to learn his name a bit. That name sounds a bit Nwaneri. That name sounds Nigerian. Am I right? I know there's Nigerians watching this. Let me know. That name sounds very Nigerian. I don't know which country it's from or which country it plays from, but if he actually plays for Nigeria or anything like that, you guys have someone to look for the future. Basically, you have someone who can shine your flag for the next 30 years, because it's only 15. Let's be honest. The likes of Ibrahimovic are playing until they're 40. Thomas is our material. Keep doing a good work. Thank you, Steven. Good performance, says Gaffa. We are the Ghana, says Patrick. I thought it would be a long afternoon. Same, Hillary. I thought it was going to be hard. But the partnership between Pat and Xhaka is what we need throughout the season. As well, like the game that we played today was very early on. Like, it was a very early kickoff. So I wasn't, usually this early kickoffs, especially on a Sunday, it was turning out to be a loss, but not this time round. Gunners for life, says George. Clean sheet, says George. Absolutely. Jesus needs to turn down as it relates to four fouls too much for a striker. Yeah, I think he's fouling a lot. I think he's not afraid to go into battles. That's the one thing I can say about him. At least he's not afraid to go into battles, but he needs to be careful sometimes. Samuel says, I trust my guys. Congratulations, says Machai. We need to beat Tottenham. Now, usually, I don't have a problem with Tottenham at home. I usually do not have a problem with Tottenham at home at all. We usually beat them at home. We usually have a problem with them away from home. But the position we are right now, let me just bring up the table. Let's see, Brentford. Yeah, there we have the table. So where we are right now, top of the table. Who thought that we are going into October and you're still top of the table? Let me do this. So as you can see, Tottenham are also not doing well. I mean, they're not doing badly, sorry. They're not playing that well, but they're getting results done, and that's why they're third. Like, if they beat us, for example, they'll go past us. And next time Man City are playing against Man United, if that game ended up being a draw or something and Tottenham beat us, Tottenham will be top of the table. We don't want to see Tottenham at the top of the table. Definitely not. So 17 goals scored for us this season, 7 conceded, 18 points. We are ahead of 7 games played in your top of the table. This is crazy. We are 6 points ahead of Man United, but they have a game in hand. We are 8 points ahead of Chelsea, but they have a game in hand as well. That is good. That is very good. 8 points ahead of them. You know, games in hand, whatever, you have to win the games in hand. So we are not guaranteed that they're going to win their games in hand. Liverpool, we are how many points ahead of Liverpool? 9 points ahead of Liverpool. What? Arsenal are 9 points ahead of Liverpool. What? One of the title favorites. What? The one of the title favorites, 9 points out of them. Brentford, they're doing very well this season, but you'll hear the media saying, you know, Arsenal have just beaten Brentford, Fulham. Yeah, Fulham, the team that we beat, are 6th on the table. Fulham have been very good this season. I remember with Richard Key saying Arsenal have not beaten anyone. They were just lucky against Fulham. Fulham is not that great. Fulham is 6th on the table. So next up, we are going to play against Tottenham at home and then Liverpool at home. So both of them will be at home. I think that is great. And then that same week, we're going to play against Bordeaux and Glimt at home as well in the Europa League. Sorry. So that is great. Top of the table, really, really nice to see. Let me finish up your comments. Comfortable win, says Morris. You're on fire. Fire Club. The game was great. Well done to the coach, says Samuel. Great performance, says Fees, and Hassan is happy as well. Same with Boss. Sylvester says Tony's comments last season actually irritated me. That's why I'm a little bit disappointed. I wanted more in this match, something like 5. There's a chance to do that because, yeah, he talked a lot of crap about Arsenal. Keep shooting, says Segun. Just keep shooting the ball. Just coming back from chat, says Segun, if you prayed for Arsenal, it worked. It definitely worked. Hanson says very nice. Brad says good afternoon. Nigerian boy, aka Arsenal fan supporter worldwide. Nigerian boys are here, man. Let's see. Wouldn't want you as our technical director underselling our players. Red Star is not having me as a technical director. He believes me saying 60 million for Odegaard and all that is too less. Fine, Red Star. You can have me. You can have me as a technical director. 300 million for Saka, 200 million for Smith Rowe, 200 million for Saliba, 100 million for everyone else, even Lokonga, 120 million. Is that better, Red Star? Is that better? Ndaba has picked up a negative from today's game. The first one we've seen today. Vieira, he is not good in terms of positioning. And also he don't make all in all congregation. He doesn't also, I don't get to say the last part, but basically Ndaba is saying Fabio Vieira is not good in terms of positioning. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to go back and watch that game a second time. And then if I find that was true, Ndaba, I'll shout you out in the next stream. Up the Gunners says Para, Saliba, our man of the match. This guy's unstoppable. We need to sort our mid once and for all, says Bello. Very nice from Ahmed. How are you, Ka? What we need now is to be consistent, says Ibrahim. Yeah, the injuries, man. I'm actually very happy that we are going for the internationals just for the players to get fit. Like today, we just beat Brentford 3-0 away from home with a bench that looks like this. Do you know how many players do you know on that bench? Look at the last 3 players. Nwaneri, Souza, and Smith, players who had never ever played for Arsenal before. Marquinhos, a youngster who's just played for Arsenal once. Rob Holding, a player who plays maybe 5 games per season. Matt Turner, a new goalkeeper. Tomiyasu, an injury-prone Tomiyasu on the bench as well. Lokonga, a player that not everyone is very sure of. And then Nketiah as well. Like, that's a bench that not many people will be happy with. So going there and winning without probably a couple of our best players in Zinchenko and Odegaard, not having a player like Smith Rowe as well today, I'm very sure I'm missing someone else, right? I've forgotten someone else who was not there today, but it disappeared. But yeah, we are missing players. We are definitely missing players, the likes of El Neni, players like that one. Players would always be on the bench to come on just in case of anything. All of them missing. Xhaka is so determined, says Lillian. Exactly, man. Like we actually have good, very good thoughts about Xhaka recently. Really good to see. Let's see. Joseph says, I'm 100% fed up by Arsenal's form, mostly the defense. What? I'm 100% fed up by Arsenal's form, mostly the defense. Thank you very much. I wish they continue playing like this. I'm just going to imagine he made a spelling mistake or error there, typing error or something, because you've gone on to say something nice. So let's just say it was a typo. Michael says Tottenham is our mean. We need to focus on our next game. I'll be very happy if we beat Tottenham. We always beat them at home, but now that Son had a game yesterday, a very good game, scoring a hat-trick, he'll be motivated. Richarlison, I don't like him at all. He'll probably have Richarlison. Last time he played against Everton, he scored 3 goals, 2 goals, or 2 goals were disallowed, and then he started posting on his Instagram, I scored a hat trick, I was supposed to get a ball, blah, 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 Arsenal or this and that. That is another player just like Ivan Toney. I'd be very happy if we beat them and put them and talk about him because they're trying to compare Richarlison and Jesus as well. Daba says Ben White is the player we don't appreciate. Yes. I think he needs more respect, and I really, really love him a lot. Like since last season, I did not agree with the people who are saying 50 million. Nah, this is too much. I'll tell you, Ben White is not 50 million. I'll tell you why he's not 50 million. Because he's 100 million. That is why. That is why Ben White is not worth 50 million. It's because he's worth 100 million. We paid too less for him. Too little for him. Good determination, says Peter. I love Gabriel, says Francis. Francis, which Gabriel are you talking about? Which Gabriel? Francis says, I love Gabriel. Which Gabriel? Every single one of our players is called Gabriel. Gabriel Magalhaes, Ben White Gabriel, Ramsdale Gabriel. Everyone is called Gabriel, Francis. Everyone was given that name, Gabriel. We changed everyone's name to Gabriel because everyone is called Gabriel. Magna says, great. My name is Samuel. I'm an Arsenal fan from Liberia. Thank you for watching, Samuel. Samuel from Zambia. Let's see. A lot of comments. I appreciate it. What a win, man. Great win. The last game before the international break. We have time for our players to recover from injuries as well. Really, really good to see. Nice one, says Jabbar. Much better, says Red Star. Got you, brother. Good game and a dominant display from the guys. Thank you, Ekpe, as well. Premier League leaders. Can you imagine, Omotosho? Make sure everyone in Nigeria knows that Arsenal are top of the table. Congratulations, says Rogers. The boys did a very good job today, says Kamara. Gabriel Jesus is who Francis is talking about. Great, Francis. I mean, I am sure you love every one of them anyway. You love Gabriel Martinelli and you love Gabriel Magalhaes as well. But I've got you, Francis. Gabriel Jesus is fantastic, man. The way the kind of different plays brought to Arsenal, the different mentalities brought to Arsenal, really, really good to see. So I asked for your man of the match. Let me see what guys voted for on YouTube. Your man of the match. So next up, remember Tottenham, but we have 2 weeks to rest. I think that's great. 2 weeks is enough to rest. Hopefully, Partey doesn't pick up an injury for Ghana. I don't know which teams Ghana are playing. So we had 146 votes. Man of the match, let's see, 39% said Saliba. See the hell. Let me just check this. So that many people said Saliba, 39%, 34% said Xhaka, 18% said Bukayo Saka. So not bad at all, not bad at all. In terms of another player, 8%. So many of you agree Saliba was the man of the match, and Xhaka second, and Saka third, and then anyone else. Listen, everyone did well. Jesus still had a great game. Tierney was great as well. Ramsdale made a couple of saves when he was needed to. And remember, we had time to dance. Commendable performance, says Walker. That's awesome, says Figo as well. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, enjoy yourself. What a Sunday. Top of the table, Arsenal. Make sure to dance like Jesus. Have some time to clean the shoes, just like Gabriel Jesus is doing to Xhaka there. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one. Top of the table.